Ah, yes, reading. One of the most enjoyable activities, yet also one of the most romanticized in my own head. Imagining reading a book by candlelight on a rainy day as the pitter patters encompass me. Or perhaps reading it by a fireplace in a rocking chair while the snow settles down all around me and I have a cup of hot cocoa next to me. Or tea, or coffee, or whatever drink, it doesn't matter. Those are some of the many scenarios I have in my head. And of course, that never happens. For one, a fireplace, and for two, I just have not finished a book in a while, to be frank. As the title suggests, the last time I read a book to completion was last year, and the last two I've read were these two, right here. 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals by Oliver Berkman, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, as well as the most recent one being Same as Ever by Morgan Housel. Now, those two, like I suggested, I finished last year, but this one I finished about a week ago. And I was very proud of myself because, wow, I finally committed to something. And it was a great read. It was amazing. But what exactly did I do this time that was different from all the other times I purchased the book? To be completely transparent, you might be disappointed by it, but these are the things that work for me and they're very simple. It's just consistency, genuine interest, and a desire to improve my reading ability / comprehension. That's it if you want to know. I can get into more detail about that later, but if you were to allow me to elaborate further on the reasons for not finishing a book for a year, I would be very glad to do so because I'm also trying to find that still. I have a little bit of a semblance though of what happened. Let's get into it. That's so awkward doing this. Moving on though, I believe my problem starts with what I actually said earlier, which is romanticizing reading. However, not in the right way. It seems like I'm romanticizing the look of reading, as well as the thought of finishing a book rather than the process of it. There's a difference between the process and the finishing. That was stupid. The difference between those two is one of them is actively romanticizing the aesthetic of it, alright? And the other one is actively romanticizing the looking at the words, interpreting them, and translating them into information. One is for the looks, one is for the activity itself. The images I described earlier, reading by candlelight or by the fireplace, are obviously more enticing. It's more exciting, more, ooh, what is this? I don't know what that is. It's just more appealing. Good news for me is that I have successfully romanticized the process more than the image. And if we take a look at my 3 points, the third one, my desire to improve my reading comprehension and ability, has fueled that, more or less. And so, why is that? Plain and simple, I wanted to prepare myself in the best way possible for uni, and that is reading to a point where I can sort of keep up with the material instead of just giving up on the spot, because oh my gosh, 12 pages of a study is really, really annoying to read. They're not even doing anything half the time. It's just random research in their methods. Just give me to the abstract and or the ending. Rant aside, yes, reading comprehension and ability is super important, and I had none of that. I know for a fact that I would not have a chance at a good semester this year if I didn't try to improve my reading comprehension or brush up my reading skills going into it, because the first time I opened this book and I read a chapter, just one chapter, my head started hurting. It's not even a hard read though, to be honest with you. It's a very easy read. It's just, again, it hadn't worked for a while, and I would have been toast if I didn't try to read before uni started. I guess we're going from bottom to top. So the next one would be interest, genuine interest. It's hard to, compared to a fiction book in my opinion, it's hard to really engage with a informative piece of information the same way you do with a fantasy world, right? Pausing here for a moment, let me move a little closer to the light. I just checked the recording, it's getting a little dark. They both provide me value, just in different ways, one in the form of entertainment and one in the form of gaining knowledge. And for the longest time, I valued that entertainment aspect in reading a book. Now it's more so that informational aspect, right? So the point I'm trying to make is I engage with them both. I do it in different ways and for different reasons. Now, my interest is also leaning more towards information. Let's move on to the final point. Also, I'm sorry if you notice I'm looking down a lot. I've been trying to articulate my sentences in a very particular way because I think it sounds better, and it takes a lot of brain power, so I'm just like, ooh, what do I say? Sorry about that. Anyways, moving on to the final point, and that is consistency. I used to be a person that approached reading as something to do all at once, and that's because I was incentivized to do it by my own reading skills, as well as just obsession with the worlds I was engaged in for fantasy. Nowadays, I figured out I really can't do that. And honestly, I would rather have it this way too, because it frees up time for other stuff in my schedule. So I just started with 5 minutes a day, and I eventually progressed to a chapter a day for this book. That managed to get me to finish the book within 2 weeks, which is very, very good, because I didn't finish a book for a year, like I said before. So it's definitely an improvement. Like, realistically, consistency is the best way to move towards your goals, right? Like, of course, you can read a book in a day, right? But learning a new language in a day, that's very unrealistic. It's not going to happen. Pick Latin does not count, okay? Let's move on to the next segment, and let's give myself a break. Swipe. Before the video ends, the next and final segment is here. What's going on in my life? Any updates? Well, I have completed 2 midterms. I hope I did well. I feel like I did do well, but last time I had a feeling of doing well, I actually just bombed the exam. So like, okay, maybe I should keep them a little lower, you know. First year really did humble me, my expectations for what I think I could do or should do without any actual preparation. So a learning experience for sure. This time though, it did feel right. Like I said, just I'm a little skeptical. Now there's one more midterm coming up before I guess am in the clear for like 3 weeks, and then the other midterms come back around, midterm round 2, and after that another break, and finally finals. The semester goes by pretty fast, surprisingly, but when you're in it, it feels like torture. Yeah, it's really fast torture. I don't know. Just a little stressed out, obviously, because of that, and managing it is easier but harder at the same time, because there's more stuff to do, but I have more experience with this kind of work now, so I'm just kind of in limbo. Hopefully I can deliver videos still beyond that. I'm doing way better than last year. I'm doing way better than before, so it's a great sign. I'm a little wiped out. I just woke up from a nap. I already said wiped out. I apologize. Yeah, I just woke up from a nap, so a little disjointed, but I hope you guys are doing well as well. And just in general, nothing much going on. So schoolwork, maybe a club here or 2 there. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed this style of video. It's a little different, and I hope you have a good week. See you in the next one. Peace. Goodbye. Something like that.